Today I'm going to be ranking Nintendo 64 video games made by Rareware. I don't think this is all of them, but I think this is just a few of them. Because I noticed there might be one or quite a few games of here not on the list here. So, for you games that grew up in the 90s, was Rareware your company? Let me know in the comment section below who was your favourite company growing up in the 90s and what is your favourite game from this list, and I'd love to hear from you exactly where would you rank these games on this list. So let's get into it. So as you can see, you can tell that we've got my different ranking tier lists here. So we've got the GOAT, perfect, awesome, it's okay, meh, get in the bin, and not played, which I think they're very, very self-explanatory. So we're going to start off with Blast Core. Here we go. Blast Core. Yeah, you're going straight in the GOAT. This game is absolutely outstanding. I mean, this basically is a game that action meets puzzle games, action game meets puzzle elements involved into it. So you have to destroy buildings using a different variation of different vehicles, right? And each vehicle that you can destroy buildings with guarantees you different strategic components into the game where it's going to be difficult or a little bit more harder, right? So in ranging of difficulties, so you've got the bulldozer, you've got the little bicycle that shoots rockets, you've got the backlash, which is probably the most hated vehicle in the game because you have to drift and you have to hit the backside of your vehicle to destroy the buildings with. Again, not easy, but this game is absolutely the GOAT. I am simply gobsmacked as to why this game hasn't had a remake, a remaster, or anything else. I don't know if this game is actually in on the Nintendo Switch Online. I don't know, I've not played my Switch for a while, but Blast Core is a game that is testament to awesome game creativity, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. Blast Core, if you haven't played it, I greatly recommend you get your N64s out or go and purchase one and play this game. The music is off the charts with this game as well. It's a truly fantastic game. I've had many laughs with this game. I played it back in the 90s after its release, and not many people talk about this game, oddly enough. The only people that actually do talk about it are those who actually played it or got a huge impression of it back in the day. But definitely, Blast Core, the GOAT, straight up there on top of that list. Okay, next we have Conker's Bad Fur Day. Okay. Whew, this one's a bit of a tricky one. So this one, Conker's Bad Fur Day, I'm going to have to put this in awesome. Awesome. So why do I put it in awesome? It's mainly because I've not completed the game. I haven't completed it yet. So that's where my ranking is just a little bit swayed by this. I mean, first impressions, I've actually played on this, I think I played it on it last year or the year before. I had a good time with it, it's a bit of adult humour, you've got characters called the Mighty Pooh and Conker from Diddy Racing, stuck us home drunk, and I remember that part of the game, and it's one of those games where it's mainly for adults, but it's 3D based platformer. It's just fun. Conker's Bad Fur Day. I think wasn't there a game where you went to war or something? I think I actually played that one as well. I don't know if that was for the Xbox or something else, but Conker's Bad Fur Day and N64, I'm putting it in awesome simply because I've not completed the game. That's why it's going in awesome. So it's basically off my first impressions, which I think it's fair, because of first impressions, it's quite a fun game. I knew what I was doing, the accessibility was alright, it didn't make me think, what am I supposed to be doing here, like certain games in the old days, it actually made you feel. So I knew what I was doing from A, B to C, but I need to play more of it, and once I played more of it, this may change. It might go up to the GOAT, or it might go in perfect, I don't know. Or it might go in it's okay, or it might be going into meh. But I have to see how this game goes, you know what I mean? So I'm fully aware that there was this game, Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong 64, and another game I'm thinking of, that was kind of against each other and whatnot, because they kind of run on the same sort of similar templates of the games. But Conker's Bad Fur Day, I want to play more of it. I don't have it on the N64, but I think I've got it on the Xbox Live Game Pass thing, which was actually good. Right, 007 GoldenEye. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry to do this to you, but this is getting in the bin. I'm lying to myself now. No, you're definitely going straight up there in the GOAT. Yes, 007 GoldenEye truly is. It was the first person shooter to own on the N64 back in the day. Obviously you've got your games like your Dooms and your Castlevania, not Castlevania's, what's that other game called Wolfenstein. That's it, Wolfenstein, not Castlevania. What am I thinking of? Wolfenstein and stuff. But this game, for those of us that were children and or teenagers growing up in the 90s, definitely worthy of your time. I mean, what I love about this game is that it's the difficulty ranges from how you play through the game, of course. So you've got agent, secret agent and 00 agent, isn't it, or something like that, ranging from easy, normal to difficulty. Each agent level gives you different objectives to actually complete in the game. But the shooting for this game, the guns, the weapons, the music, the game design, the levels, the characters, as polygonal and as 3D early-ish, they say, they age like milk. I don't care how bad this game looks. Obviously I played it back in the day and I loved it, so that's nostalgia talking. But at the same time, even talking as an adult, I don't really care for gaming graphics as much as other people do, because I'm not a purist when it comes to terms of graphics and stuff like that. I'm not one of these people that say, oh, graphics make the game, or this game doesn't have absolutely awesome graphics, so it's not worth my time. I'm one of those people that can say, yeah, for its time, the graphics were great, but they may not have aged as well, but it's still, the overall gaming experience itself can actually provide so much value of your time, especially when it comes to the multiplayer. For those of you that picked Oddjob, go away, just click off the video. I mean, I liked picking players like Jaws, he was the easiest person in the game to hit because he was so tall. Oddjob, man, he was just basically like a little rat, so he's so quick as well. What I loved about 007 GoldenEye was the unlocking the cheat codes. Unlocking these cheat codes provided an extra layer of fun and strategy to the game. So that's probably the reason why I know where everything is so well on that game, because when you really play this game a lot and then you start to replay it, you start to know where things are situated and stuff. So little things like that become a little bit more obvious when you walk around the map. I think missions like the surface levels were a bit confusing at first when you want to complete the objectives. But once you get around to it, it's alright. But the GoldenEye 007, most definitely one of the greatest games of all time. Still want to put up there. That's definitely going to be in the go. Some people would say it's overrated. Yeah, you can click off the video. See ya, bye bye. But other people would just love this game fondly, and it's one of the things I know about this game, apart from the obvious, it's like they actually had the N64 pad with the rumble pack, and wait, if they would have had this in the game, but made it 10 times harder, is where you have to take the rumble pack out, insert it, and that would have made the gun reload and stuff instead of just pressing the B button. I was like, thinking, good thing they took that out. I was so happy they did, because can you imagine keeping even if you don't have a rumble pack, like take it out, put it back in, boom, especially as you may have to pick up the game second hand, or you didn't get it back in the day as a kid or as a teenager or however old you were, and yeah, if you didn't have a rumble pack and if they kept that mode in, boom, you meant to reload the gun. Goodness me. But GoldenEye 007 is definitely still up there, man. I love that game so much. Diddy Kong Racing. Right, okay. This one I think it's gonna be, yeah, straight up there. The GOAT. Now this is definitely one of the greatest racing games ever, right? It's definitely better than Mario Kart 64, 10 billion times better, objectively and subjectively, because not only do you get to do a lot more, it offers you a lot more too. Diddy Kong Racing is quirky, it's childlike, it's fun, it's friendly, the music is very vibrant, and it still suffers from a few of the other N64 games. Sometimes certain soundtracks are in certain levels, sort of having their own unique level identity when it comes to the music and stuff. But hey, that's fine because of the limitations of the N64 hardware and stuff. This game features so many characters, 2 of them which you get to unlock, boss battles, you get to pick between 3 different vehicles, you get to do an extra mode where you have to collect a key, you can do the extra mode where you collect all the silver coins. Goodness me, this game it even had a World Gaming Hub, a race hub, you know what I mean? So not only did it have unlockables, but also had cheats you get to unlock as well, which was absolutely awesome to have in a racing game, for crying out loud. Whatever happened to those days of gaming? Oh yeah, they still exist, but only within our memories now, because microtransactions, DLC, we're gonna be sick. Get out, get out. Diddy Kong Racing is where it's at. Definitely better than Mario Kart 64. I'm not going to feel guilty for that. But especially, man, Diddy Kong Racing is such a much loved game. Much loved. I mean, beating WizPig was the biggest headache of this game for me back in the day. But once I actually beat WizPig and I unlocked the extra mode, like the new level, like the futuristic funfair level, I think it was called, then you had to beat WizPig a second time. I actually thought that was so much easier because you're in a plane, right? As opposed to being in a car, because back in the day as a kid I couldn't beat WizPig, it was just that difficult. But even though I tried with all the different characters, it was only my early 20s I actually went back to the game and finally beat him and got rid of that stinking headache that he had over me all those years, man. Yeah, WizPig, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do now, huh? I just wish this game actually had some sort of an update, a remake as well, or something. I know we had that game on the Xbox 360, All-Star Racing, what was it? I think it was called. I think where you get to actually pick like what you can do in this game as well. We know this game did it first with the hovercraft and the planes and the carts and whatnot. But I want Diddy Kong Racing back. I want another game from Diddy Kong Racing IP. You know what I mean? Anyway, Diddy Kong Racing, definitely the GOAT, and that's staying right there too. Banjo-Kazooie, yeah, it's going straight there, boy. Straight there, in the GOAT, straight there. Banjo-Kazooie, for those of you that don't know, is my most favourite video game of all time. So that's staying straight up there in the GOAT. The iconic duo of the bear and bird, British humour at its finest. The levels are absolutely phenomenal. Every level has its own personality and charm. Every level has its own unique music. I love the fact it's a collectathon. I don't care what people say about that. I loved it as a kid and growing up and stuff, because when it comes to games, I find myself hoarding a lot of things. You know, like in games like, let's just say RPGs, I'm always hoarding a lot of things. Am I picking up this, I want to keep this and not use it for later, or I just want to carry it to myself, that sort of thing. But this game drived on that thing for me. It really did. Collecting all of the jiggies, all of the notes and the jinjos and stuff. Speaking to characters like Mumbo, who we can transform you into different things like creatures or stuff like that fits for the level, so you don't have to take on damage, or if you need to get to those hard to reach places. I love the levels like Mad Monster's Mansion. You've got the other levels like Freeze Easy Peak, you've got the desert level, Gobi's Valley, you've got the sand level, you've got the ship level, Rusty Bucket Bay, and you've got the level with the 4 seasons and whatnot, Click Clock Woods. That was absolutely brilliant. You've got the ultimate fabulous part of this game that I absolutely love is the part where you get to do the quiz. I absolutely love that part of the game. It's like, right, you've played the game now, all of that knowledge that you've accumulated, we're going to tell you, well not tell you, but we're going to quiz you now, and we're going to see how much you've actually remembered. I love that. Absolutely love it. And it's such a colourful way. You've got the tiles where if you answer it one wrong and that's it, you're dead. You've got the ones about Gruntilda that her wonderful sister tells you about, you know, all of the secrets about Gruntilda. You've got the picture ones, you've got the musical notes ones, you've got the, oh man, this game is just full of charm and creativity, man. This is what gaming's about, man. This is why I love games like from the past, man. Games like this, Banjo-Kazooie exist, and that's why I love gaming so much, and especially retro now, man. We didn't know how good we had it back then. Even if we loved these games to bits, we still didn't know how good we had it. Banjo-Kazooie is definitely up there, levels with the gods of gaming. Definitely. Absolutely, so that's where Banjo-Kazooie is staying in the GOAT section. Let's move on. Force Gemini. Right, I'm gonna have to put this one in It's Okay. Force Gemini. Now for those of you that are probably screaming at your computers, just hear me out for a second. I remember playing this, I think it was last year or the year before, no I think it was last year. It may have been last year in 2024 when I actually played this for the first time. It was on the stream. And I've never played Force Gemini before, And from the looks of it, it was an alright, it was okay for my first introduction. You know, I was slowly getting into the game. But I'm not saying that this is where it's going to be for the rest of its life. I need to complete the game. I need to be absorbed into the game. I need to know. It's not one of those things where, oh, I didn't play it in my childhood, therefore it's ranked sort of midsection. No, that's not how I do things. That's not me, right? So I know a lot of people have a certain opinion about games and nostalgia. Oh, you rose-tinted glasses and stuff. Shut up. It's just about, I've not played it much. That's all. You know, I've only played it best about an hour or two. So I need to play a little bit more of it. And I wouldn't mind playing more of it. So I can't remember if I played it on the Xbox Live. It might have been for the Game Pass. I think it might have been a rare. No, I don't think it was. I think it was that rare replay, was it? It might have been. I have to go back onto it because, from what I can remember and gather from it, it was actually a pretty okay game. It was alright, not bad. I'm not saying it's the greatest, not saying it's the worst, but I just need to play a little bit more of it. That's all, and that's where it is now for the ranking list. Donkey Kong 64. Oof. Right, so now I'm going to be completely honest with this one. I'm going to be very, very honest. I'm going to put this one in here. Get in the bin. I didn't like this game at all. I didn't like the introduction to it. I got bored with it. I didn't know what I was doing. I found it a little bit annoying. I found it just rather tedious, lackluster experience of what I was getting from the game as well. So as I was going through this game, I was like, why am I bothering? That's the sort of vibe I got with this game. I loved the Donkey Kong Country games, but Donkey Kong 64 I did not like at all. There was something about this game that didn't really sell for me. I wasn't having fun with it. You know, I was playing for, maybe it's one of those things I need to give it a little bit more time. But even if I complete the game, give it more time that it needs, it might go up to meh, or it might even go into okay, or it probably could get in the bin. Who knows, it might be an underrated game for me, it might go into the perfect or goats, but I actually have this game on the N64 and I didn't have a good time with it. You know what I mean? I really didn't. I can just about barely remember it. It was that forgetful for me. In fact, a lot of people say that this game actually killed the genre platform or something, saying how bad it was and stuff. I know certain people, I know it's really subjective how you approach these games and how you like them and whatnot. I personally didn't like it. I don't feel guilty for saying that because I'm being honest, right? For the reasons I've already given. I didn't have fun with it. I was playing it and I was like, why am I bothering? You know, I wasn't doing it on purpose. I was literally trying to invest my time into it, and I didn't go back to it. I've only played it once. To be fair to it though, I think I should give it a little bit more time, you know, play it again, and then maybe in the future, when someone asks me how I feel about this game, then yeah, I'll have a different answer. Hopefully, you know, because I don't want to dislike games like this, you know, but at the same time, if it doesn't do anything for me, then that's not my fault then, is it? Perfect Dark. Okay, I'm going to put this in awesome. No, let's put it in perfect. No, it was a bit of a pun there. No, let's do it in awesome. So the reason why I'm putting Perfect Dark there, again for the same reasons, I've not really played it that much. Yeah, this is sort of the same staple here with the 007 GoldenEye. I didn't play this back as a kid, I played it when I was an adult. My first introduction to this game, it reminded me of 007 GoldenEye, and I really loved that. I can sort of see the templates they were going for. I know this one offers like 4-player, I think isn't it cooperative gameplay, and that already sets it above the boundary of GoldenEye in terms of like, you know, having more fun with it, getting more players on the controllers on the same TV screen. That right there is a huge selling point and a huge selling factor that can multiply your fun so much. But at the same time, I've only played it a little bit. I've played it with my wife, and we had a great time going through the story. Not all of it, just a little bit through the story. And we've having a great time when we played together. You know, so at the same time, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I need to play more of this game, a lot more. So from first impressions, it's pretty much the same as Conker's Badthur Day. You know, I need to play it more. But first impressions, it's actually an alright game. It's actually an awesome game. You know what? So this is probably potentially going up in towards the GOAT, especially since you can play multiplayer on the co-op mode on a story. I love that. It's a shame GoldenEye didn't have that, otherwise I'd be just up there, legendary god tier, big time. But because Perfect Dark does do it, and I really want to see how I'm interested in the story, seeing how the rest of it plays out, I'm gonna have to just leave it an awesome at the moment. You know what I mean? So it's only put there only because I've not played it much. Okay, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm not saying it's too great, sort of in the middle. It's above okay, but it's below perfect. I need to play a little bit more. It is Perfect Dark, but I need to play a little bit more of it to really, you know, get absorbed into it, see what I can get out of it. So next time I may do a tier list like this, it might go up, might even be up there. But yeah, I don't think it was going to go down here or anything like that, because especially with what the game already offers. So it's just going to stay right there. It's going to stay right there and awesome. Mickey Speedway USA. Don't think I played that. I don't think I've played Mickey Speedway USA. I do love my racing games. I really, really do. It's in my top 5 favourite genres of all time, racing games. But I don't think I've really played Mickey Speedway USA. So I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. I can't really comment on it, sadly. So that's gonna have to, let's move on. Banjo-Tooie. It's okay. Yeah, Banjo-Tooie, it's okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's an alright game, right? I've not completed it. I need to play it more. I'm probably going to enjoy it a lot more. As much as Banjo-Kazooie, doubt it. Because with my experience with it right now, of what I've played of it, it's an alright game, but I was having a headache with it more than I was enjoying it. Why? Simply because, like, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, it wasn't as accessible as Banjo-Kazooie was, right? Banjo-Kazooie, I could tell what I'm going to be doing from A, B to C. With Banjo-Tooie, I was figuring out, what on earth am I going? Where am I going? What am I supposed to be doing? So, I mean, as a sequel, you get to play as Banjo or Kazooie, even as Mumbo, so that's really got some good points there. You get to have different control abilities with Kazooie and Banjo and whatnot, and Mumbo, which is really, really great. You get to transform and use different characters, which is awesome. I love that. I don't feel like the music is as impactful, though, for me. So I'd love to make a Banjo-Kazooie versus Banjo-Tooie video one day, which is probably what I will get to this year, as a matter of fact. So I can only do that once I actually complete this game, Banjo-Tooie, because I know with this game you have to backtrack a little bit in order to, you know, because I've noticed that with the first few levels. So I need to play a little bit more Banjo-Tooie. Again, I hate the fact I didn't get to play it as a kid. You know what I mean? Because I remember its release being announced, and yet I couldn't get it for some reason. I think it's because, like, at that time around this release, I was already on the Dreamcast, right? And I was looking forward to, like, more games to do with the Dreamcast. Then the PS2 came around, and then I was like, oh, I just forgot about Banjo-Tooie. But I didn't forget it, but I just moved on, you know, so to speak, just like the rest of us did, or most of us. So that's my ranking, my tier list. So as we have in the top section, the GOAT, Blast Corps, yeah, that's exactly how I feel there. GoldenEye, Diddy Kong Racing, Banjo-Kazooie, absolutely the GOATs. Nothing's imperfect, okay. Awesome, Badthur and Perfect Dark, which I feel like, yeah, I'm right with that ranking right there. Obviously, you're going to have different rankings. You're going to have to, you'll probably disagree with me throughout this video anyway, which is fine. Don't be an idiot about it. So then Force Gemini, which is an okay, and Banjo-Tooie. Again, these games I've not really played much of. The same with Badthur and Perfect Dark, but there's different levels between Badthur and Perfect Dark for what they offered me first time, as opposed to Force Gemini and Banjo-Tooie. Okay, so I guess like Badthur and Perfect Dark are more of my kind of game than what Force Gemini is. Although I need to play all of them more. So these 4 games here in Awesome and It's Okay combined, I need to complete and I need to play more of. Nothing was really in there, okay, because I don't think there was enough games in here for that to be warranted there. Donkey Kong 64, get in the bin, yeah, trash. I didn't like Donkey Kong 64, I've already expressed myself with that. and I've not really played Mickey Speedway. I think I might have that in my collection, so I'm going to have to go through my collection and just have a look at which games I've got. In terms of, if I've got it, I'll definitely play it because I love my racing games. So that's my tier list. What are your thoughts on your own tier list and on this one? I would love to hear from you, gaming minions. Obviously, as I said, this is my tier list. This is how I feel about the games. I'm not going to make a tier list to conform to your needs, right? I'm making my tier list for my own, right? This is for me, right? This is how I feel. So how do you feel, fellow gaming minions? Drop me that comment in the comment section below. Be nice, otherwise your comments are not going to go through. And I look forward to hearing from you. May retro gaming live on, and you take great care of yourself.